Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Andrea Giraldo. Welcome to Meetings of the Minds, brought to you by the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in partnership with BronxNet. This show was created in direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic as a way to highlight the work of our members and partners, as well as to understand the resources they have to help our community in those difficult times. Our first guest today is a licensed real estate salesperson with RE/MAX Distinguished Homes and Properties, and she joins us to speak about how she is providing quality real estate service to potential home buyers across several communities and much more. So please welcome to the show, Nancy Rondon. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
So, can you first tell us a little bit about yourself, your professional journey, how you came to where you are today?
Sure. So my name is Nancy Rondon with RE/MAX Distinguished Homes and Properties. The beginning of my life in my 20s, I worked in commercial real estate in Manhattan. I was doing that between two companies for 25 years of my life. So there I worked with commercial real estate brokers where it gave me a foundation for what I do now. So I wore many hats in those two companies, and after being there for 25 years, I decided to go on my own and try residential real estate. So I've been doing it for 10 years, and I love what I do.
Primarily in what area?
Where I work now.
Yes.
So I do all of the Bronx and Lower Westchester. And I also have partners throughout all of the countries, all over the states, that if a home seller wants to sell and wants to retire down south, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, I have partners in all those places.
Amazing. And what services do you offer?
So I offer assistance with home buyers and home sellers. With the buyers, I can connect them to different lenders that have programs to help them with their down payment or closing costs, right? I educate them. So I do home buyer seminars at the Castle Hill YMCA, where I'm also a board member. And so it's all about educating, right? Because if you know what you're getting into, then you're more comfortable buying, because obviously buying a home, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So, and with home sellers, I also help educate them on what the process is, what buyers are looking for, so that they have a better opportunity to get the price that they're looking for.
And how could anyone access these programs at
Of
Castle
course.
Hill, and how would they go about that?
So the Castle Hill programs are mostly for members, right? But when you come to the home buyer seminar, that's for everyone. And there, once you learn about the programs that we have and that our lenders have, then we put you on the right path to start, learning what to do. So if your credit is not good, we'll connect you with a credit repair person that can help you with that process. If you need funds for down payment or closing costs, we'll connect you with someone there. So it's all about connecting people and helping the buyer get where they want to get.
So do people have to be in any particular stage of that purchasing journey?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have to just want to buy. You want to buy, you're tired of paying rent, we're there to help you, educate you, and help you through the process. And you may not be ready today. You may be ready tomorrow, 2 years from now. We'll continue communicating with you and help you get there.
So at any stage, this would be
Absolutely.
excellent to learn.
Of course, yes. Education is key.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And tell us about any challenges you have faced breaking into the real estate industry.
So real estate can be challenging, right? The market changes all the time. The interest rates change all the time. So sometimes we have low inventory. There's too many buyers for the inventory that's out there. So we have those challenging times that when you make offers for your clients, they get denied, and until you get them the house that they're looking for. But it can be challenging. In the beginning, we had to learn that this is a people business. So you have to build trust. You have to put your clients first at all times. And that will build your business, and that will help them get to where they want to be.
So aside from understanding that it's a people business, which I think you hit it spot on, what other lessons have you learned?
That you have to hustle, that you have to stay committed, that you have to continuously learn. You have to stay educated yourself so that you can educate them, because there's always changes in the business, in the market. You have to follow market trends to know what's going on so that you can better communicate that to your clients, whether it be a buyer or seller.
Excellent. And how have you adapted and adjusted to a constantly evolving and volatile real estate market, especially here in New York City? I mean, because it's not only interest, right? Right now, we call them sky high, but apparently they're normal for probably 20 years ago. But still, for today's market and the many difficulties financially that people face.
Well, again, it goes back to education. And for us to get educated so that we can better educate them. It goes back to connecting with the right people so that you provide the right programs for the buyers to be able to buy a home. And for the sellers, we give them the right information so that they can be able to sell. So, at this point, you just have to just continue educating yourself to provide that service for them.
Yeah. Is there anything that stands out in the New York City market?
Well, it depends the neighborhood, right? So some neighborhoods have very low inventory because everybody wants to live there. So you have
Such as?
It could be Morris Park, the Pelham Gardens area, the BronxNet area. The South Bronx has a lot of activity. I recently sold a home there. We listed it at market price, and I was able to get about $50,000 above asking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it through like a bidding war that we hear about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's still happening. It depends the neighborhood. It depends the area that the house is in.
Yeah.
And it depends how many buyers come out.
And maybe for those that are not familiar, if you could just expand a little bit on what a bidding war is.
Sure.
Because I think that's an important term also.
Yes, definitely. And it's been happening
since COVID.
Since COVID,
yeah.
Definitely. So basically, you put a home on the market. If you price it correctly as the listing agent, you're going to bring enough buyers out there that are interested in that home. So now, tons of people are interested. Everybody's making an offer. So as the listing agent, you're supposed to try to get the seller the best offer possible. The bidding war means that there's 10, 20 offers on one property. Now you have to present all those offers to your client. And at the end of the day, sometimes they take the highest and best offer. And you give everybody an opportunity to bid on the property, but that also brings the values of the homes up because so many people are offering, making an offer and offering more than what it's worth. Now the comps of the property are going to be higher. So that area now just the value of the homes in that area just went up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And because you just said another important term, which is comps.
Yes.
And maybe some of our viewers are not familiar with what this is.
Yeah, so those are the comparables. So that is comparing a home in that neighborhood that sold recently. Usually we use 6 months of comps to put the value of the home. So it has to be similar in price, similar in years, similar in bedrooms. It just has to be similar to the home that you're selling. So that
within the same neighborhood.
Within a 6 mile. Half a mile radius.
Oh, half a mile.
Half a mile radius, 6 months that it's sold. It's sold within 6 months or a year, because the appraiser is going to come out and give it a value, right? So even if the home sold $50,000 above asking, the appraiser that's lending the buyer that money is going to come out and appraise that home.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't come up at value, then you have to renegotiate the price of the home.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
or they could come up with the money and pay whatever the difference is. Yeah.
Because you won't be able to get a loan.
No, you won't be able to get that additional money from the bank.
Yeah.
It has to be the value of the home.
Of the home. Interesting.
Yes.
Now, where do you see New York City property value? For example, the Bronx in the coming years, 3 to 5 years, because we have seen a lot of development happening now in the Bronx.
I see the values still going up, but they're not going to go up as quickly as they were since COVID, right? Because when COVID happened, the values were going up astronomically. But I think the values of the homes will still continue to rise, but are just at a smaller percentage, not as quickly and as much as before.
And would that be the trend as well for the other boroughs, or is there
I specialize
anyone
in the Bronx, so
you
I don't speak on the other
Yeah.
boroughs, but it is happening. And we see a lot of people coming to the Bronx to purchase because they got priced out of Brooklyn or Queens because the
Yeah.
prices are so high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And within the Bronx, are there any neighborhoods, perhaps in particular, that stand out? That you mentioned before, Morris Park.
Morris
Right.
Park, yeah. Those are the neighborhoods that most of our buyers are looking. And this is for me, right? Some other agent may have other areas that people are looking in. But Wakefield, I mean, there's just so many. It depends. But in the South Bronx, because they're building so much in the South Bronx,
They are,
we have a lot
yeah.
of investors that are looking to buy there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
To put up-
home buyers as well. And just,
Excellent. So, and I always like asking this question for someone who would want to get into your line of business, into your professional, and they're watching today, and maybe they're in high school still, or maybe they're looking to, their next phase in life, or maybe, an adult as well.
Okay.
What advice would you give them as far as the best way to approach being in the real estate industry?
Well, first things first, you need a mentor. You need someone who can guide you because it's not that easy just getting in there and not knowing what to do and finding the right company or the right fit. I have no problem helping someone and educating them on what the process is to get into real estate, especially young adults that are trying to get into the business. They could reach out to me through my website, nancyrondon.com, and I will gladly help them. But the key is to find a mentor, find a company that can guide you and help you, because if you find a company that just puts you there and says just make phone calls and talk to people, which is what you're supposed to do, is just talk to as many people as possible to try to help as many people as possible to buy and sell. Because like I said before, it is a people business. But the key is to get the right company, the right person to tell you this is the first step. So obviously getting your license is the first step. And then you have to have a company, a real estate company, hold your license. You can't just sell after you get your real estate license.
Yeah.
You have to get a company to guide.
So there's a license.
There
And
is a real estate
what
license.
is that process like?
I believe now it's 70 hours that you need. In
Okay.
the past, it was only 45. You could do it online, or you could do it through a school that offers the classes, and then you have to take a state test. Once you take the state test, you will have to find a real estate office that will take you and guide you. And of course, there's fees. So you have to be ready. You have to have a little savings account. I recommend anybody that's ready to do it, have a little savings account, because there's
As a backup?
dues, there's fees. Well, you need to invest in
Yeah.
yourself, so you need to spend
course.
before you can make money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And
Well,
definitely partnering up with an agent that can guide you and
that's
help
the
you.
mentorship you're
Yes,
suggesting.
Yes, yes.
So
But to get started, I will gladly help anyone who's interested, young or an adult.
if you could give your website one more time, please.
www.nancyrondon.com.
Excellent, excellent. So, then now we have her website here on screen.
Great, thank you.
Nancy-rondon.remax.com.
Right? .com?
.com.
Okay, I'll double check that. My
Yeah.
email is nancyrondon14@gmail.com.
Excellent, excellent. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. So, speaking of guidance, can you tell us about your free guides to buying and selling
Oh, yes.
a home?
Yes,
What is
so
that
I have
about?
Very simple to read and understand buyer and seller home guides. They're in Spanish and in English, and you can find those on my website as well.
So,
You
se
can-
habla español.
Se habla español, yes. So we help all communities, we help everyone, but yes, if somebody needs it in Spanish, there's a copy. I speak Spanish very fluently and can assist, home buyers and sellers. The guides for the buyers, it just tells you from A to Z what the steps are to buy a home, so that you're not surprised and shocked on any fees that come along the way. And it tells you from meeting with your agent to looking at homes, to getting an offer accepted, to getting an inspection. waiting for the appraisal to happen. Issues that may come up if there's property, if the property has any problems or violations, choosing the right agent. So I educate them and give them all the information. If they need a lender, we give them several lenders that they can call. And
I was actually just going to ask you about
Yeah.
that, because you just threw out a couple of names of individuals that are needed.
yes.
Maybe if you could share that again.
Okay, so once you get the offer accepted, it's highly recommended that you do an inspection. With the competition,
So you need an inspector.
You need an inspector, and I can give them. I have a list of inspectors. I have a list of attorneys. I have a list of lenders. So I provide them everything. They call them. They feel them out. See who they feel more comfortable with. But a lot of home buyers are not doing inspections because they feel that makes their offer stronger. They're waiving this, waiving that. I always recommend the buyer do your inspection. Whether you don't ask for renovations because the seller may not do it. Most of the time they don't. You want to do the inspection because you want to make sure you know what you're getting into. So you want to know what monies you have to come up with if there's major problems. And if there's major problems, we try to negotiate the best we can for our buyers to get them.
What is an
what they need.
example or two on some major issues that you've seen people come across with these inspections?
Electrical panels.
That can be very expensive.
Very expensive, and it's
Yeah.
for safety reasons. So we always try to ask, to have that repaired. Foundation issues, that's
can
very
be
expensive,
worse.
and sometimes the buyers
Yeah.
do walk away from the home because they don't want to deal with that. But if they're in construction, or they may move forward with it. Plumbing, there's a lot of plumbing. Water issues is a big thing. And talking about water issues, we also have insurance companies that we provide them a list because at the
Oh,
end of the day, you need an
excellent.
insurance company
Yeah.
before you close. So either I or one of the lenders can give them a list, and so we provide everything that the buyer needs, everything for the seller. When it comes to the sellers, we represent the seller. We educate them on how to prepare the home, how to list the property at the right price to get as many people as possible to preview the home, so we could get them the most money possible.
Are there any times during these inspections where the deal falls through?
Oh, yeah.
Meaning it's off the table,
Yeah.
people walk away,
Yes.
or they can't find a happy meeting.
Yeah. So yes, it has happened. It doesn't happen often to me,
Yeah.
but it has happened because sometimes depending on what the issues are, right? So the inspector's job is to give them all the information. They don't hide anything. This is what I see. There's termites. There's this. There's that. Whatever it is. And at that point, we, the real estate agents, try to negotiate certain items, right? Because if it's too much of an expense for the buyer, we want the seller to take some of that expense. So sometimes we ask for a credit. You don't have to remediate the termite issue, but give them a credit so that they can take care of it. So it depends. It depends how nervous the buyer is. If the buyer is really nervous, any little thing you tell them may scare them away.
Yeah.
So we hold their hand, we educate them, but at the end of the day, it's up to them.
And how can they obtain the guides?
So the guides, they can obtain them by emailing me at nancyrondon14@gmail.com, or you could go on my website, www.nancyrondon.com, and you can download them there.
Yeah, I just feel that breakdown of the process, especially for someone who is coming in new,
Yeah.
and it's a huge investment. It's not like they're buying a pair of shoes.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be stuck with it for,
Right.
what, 30 years, 25
Yeah.
years, whatever
Yeah.
your mortgage is?
And it tells you a little bit about co-ops, a little bit about homes, a little bit about condos. So like right now I have a couple of co-ops for sale. I have a home for sale in Pelham Gardens. So, it gives you an education. And at the end of the day, if you want to do a buyer's consultation when you're ready and you have your pre-approval letter, then we meet in my office and we go through that book together. And if they have more questions, they will be answered. But you can download them and start learning about it. Once we meet, we go over everything. We repeat it because throughout the process, it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot when you buy.
Yeah.
It's a lot when you sell.
It can be
So
overwhelming.
It is very overwhelming.
And maybe people don't jump into it because
Yeah.
it's
and you're putting
uncharted
a lot
territories
of money
for
down.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a great investment. It'll always grow. and it's a great thing for you and your
Yeah.
family to build wealth.
And I think it's important that you mention education, which is why I want to double click on two words that for our viewers who are new to this, the difference between co-ops and condos, right?
Right.
Because everyone sees a building and knows that there are units inside, but
Yeah.
how can they differ?
Well, with co-ops, you're buying shares, right? And they have restrictions. Depending on the co-op, there's different restrictions. Usually, you have to have a debt-to-income ratio of 30% or lower. Some of them have a little bit higher. They have to have a specific credit score. Most co-ops, you can't do 3.5% down or 5%. Well, all co-ops, like a home, you can put 3.5% down or 5% down. With co-ops, it's usually 10 or 20% down. So even though the price is lower, you still have to come up with either 10 or 20% of the price of that co-op or condo, right? Condos, you could do 5% down though, and it's more like buying a home. So you have the HOA fees, which help you with certain expenses they take care of certain things, garbage, landscaping, things like that.
HOA meaning Home Owners Association,
correct?
right?
Yes.
Just so our viewers can understand
Homeowners Association.
all this new lingo that you're
Terminology, I know.
introducing.
Yes. And then with the co-op is a maintenance.
Yeah.
So that's different. And maintenance usually amounts are higher than HOA fees. And sometimes they
okay.
cover the gas, the heat. Electric usually you pay on your own, but there's no taxes. With a condo, you have to pay taxes in additional. The co-op is included.
Well,
but they have certain restrictions.
Yeah, but you're still paying either way.
Yeah, but they have certain
Right.
restrictions, so it depends. But the prices are so much lower. So some people, young adults, I see them starting with a studio or co-op, in their 20s or 30s. They start with that first, and as they build and their family grows, and they go to the next step and they buy a home.
The next level up. Wonderful. And at 20s or 30s, amazing.
Yeah, we have some clients in their 20s that bought studios from me.
Very cool. So do you work with businesses as well, or entrepreneurs who are seeking commercial properties or office space? Or
So we have people in my office that do that, and I refer them over to them. So even though I worked in commercial, that wasn't my forte when I started in sales. So I refer them to preferred commercial brokers that can help them, definitely.
yeah, but I like your focus with your educational component, because it's definitely proven that the way now to build a generational wealth
Yes.
is through home purchasing,
Yes.
right?
And education, right? So educating yourself, why is it worth doing this? Or, how do I do it? I don't even know where to start. Well, give me a call. I'll tell you how you can start, So it's possible. It's possible. And we have some clients that have more than one family member, then they do it together.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, So it's just being in it. You have
Yeah.
to be in it. And the more you know, the more you are more comfortable.
Yeah, because
taking the step.
You figure some people may be thinking, oh, that's so far out for me.
Yeah.
And it turns out that no, you may be
You may qualify.
qualified
Or you
right
may be
now.
so close to qualifying that all you need is education, and you need to know, oh, okay, your debt is really high. Okay, bring down those cards.
Yeah.
Do this, do that.
Yeah.
And then,
And it may be the opposite,
Yeah.
where people think they can qualify, and hold on, you need some homework to do first,
and
as you
that's
just
fine.
mentioned.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm planning to do another home buyer seminar probably in October at the YMCA in Castle Hill.
So again, repeat that, please.
Yes, I'm planning to do another home buyer seminar. I don't have the date yet. I have a lender come in, I have an inspector come in, sometimes a title company, an attorney, and we all come together to educate the people that are interested in learning how to be a homeowner.
And this is free.
This is
Completely
free.
free.
Yes, and you don't have to be a member of the Castle Hill Y to come to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So, and what about younger people that are interested in purchasing a home? Like, would they be able to get started? You just mentioned that you've seen 20-something, 30-something year olds.
Yeah, they just have to give me a call, and I'll educate them and help them how to get there. Make a
Yeah.
plan, right? So if they're not ready today and they're almost there, we make a plan and we stay in touch and we help them get there.
And one more time, your website, please,
www.nancyrondon.com.
and your email.
nancyrondon14@gmail.com.
And the phone number?
917.
We want to make sure people can get you.
Please reach out. 917-837-0724, and in español, 917-837-0724.
And are there educational programs in the Y in Spanish as well?
We have done bilingual ones.
Oh.
Absolutely. So depending the audience,
Yeah.
right? We do bilingual.
You can accommodate
we
to the
accommodate as
situation.
fit necessary. Yes.
Wow.
And all the people, the partners I work with, they're all bilingual as well.
As well. Very cool, very
Yeah.
cool. You just mentioned the training again at the Y, right?
The home buyer seminar,
The home buyer seminar.
And I'm able to do that because I sit on the board of the YMCA, where I have this year I was chosen as the volunteer of the year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge.
I love giving back. I love serving the community where I sell homes, and home sellers come to me from that area and that community. I'm also giving back by, helping the young adults get scholarship funds. We just recently had a backpack giveaway, and I'm involved in a lot of their programs, and I love it because I love giving back. Yeah, it's the Castle Hill YMCA, and they can find it easily online.
Easily, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And your office is located
My
where?
office is in Tuckahoe, 263 Tuckahoe, Columbus Avenue in
Yeah.
Tuckahoe.
So that's close enough.
It's close
I would
enough,
say.
and
Right.
I do buyer consultations also in some of my partners' offices in the Bronx. So if they don't want to drive up to Tuckahoe, which is not that far, I can also assist them in an attorney office, a lender's office, because they have space for us to
Yeah.
help more people.
Wonderful, wonderful. And one more time, please, your website. We want to make sure people get this. So in
Yes,
case you
thank
don't
you.
have a pen, take it out now, please.
So it's just Nancy Rondon, right? So www.nancyrondon.com, and that'll take you to my website. It has all the links with all the information, all my listings, everything that you need there, the home buyer, home seller booklets in Spanish and in English. And please reach out to me if you have any questions.
And the email?
nancyrondon14@gmail.com.
Amazing, amazing. So once again, for more on the work that Nancy and our friends at the RE/MAX are doing, please visit the website nancyrondon.remax.com. You may also visit her on LinkedIn and Instagram at RE/MAX and at I am Nancy Rondon Realtor.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. We did learn a lot. Hopefully, people will be inspired and reach out. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in and checking us out. Keep following BronxNet TV for continued coverage. If you're not a member of the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you can always visit us at hispanicchamber.nyc. Once again, www.hispanicchamber.nyc. You can also engage with us on LinkedIn at New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, all spelled out. And I'll see you next time for another episode of Meetings of the Minds in partnership with BronxNet. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.